So I walk in and my friend here, and these look like it's kind of a. I just look at these clowns. What is going on, my reefing fam? March here. This is Fragbox TV. Diggs. This dog is KO'd. Not interested today. Welcome back to the channel. It has been it's been a couple weeks. It's been a minute. We are still here, alive and well. If you've been wondering what is up, I was away over in Asia for the first time, which was kind of cool. So there's a lot of new content coming, a lot of new videos. It's just going to take time. I want to spend a little bit more time on these videos than I normally do. Usually I just pick up the camera like this and then open my mouth and then we see what comes out. But on these ones, because it took time to fly over there, and it's some really good content. I want to take the time to really edit them and go through it and kind of make it a little bit more vloggy and maybe tell you guys a story about what it was like to go and handpick corals over on the other side of the world. If you're new to the channel, hello, welcome. This is a kind of like a vlog that follows our store here in Toronto that has everything to do with those things, saltwater aquariums, more specifically the corals, these beautiful animals that live inside. Hello, Mr. Christmas Tree Worm Rock, who is loving life. So I'm back. Everything looks really good. Thumbs up to the staff if you're watching. You guys did an awesome job. Place didn't burn down, no floods, everything more or less looking good. And when you go away for a couple weeks, I don't know if you've left your tank for 1, 2, 3 weeks before, if it does well, the corals just look happier. I don't know if they miss me, or maybe I miss them, or maybe I'm delusional. No, we know I'm delusional. That's not a maybe. TS tank's looking great too. I learned a lot while I was away. So I want to give you maybe just a little recap, or not a recap, a little rundown of what I learned about corals and being on the other side of the world. It was really cool to see where these actually come from, because I'm always saying I feel a little bit disconnected from the corals because I ordered them from an Excel sheet and I've never actually been to Asia or been to where they come from. So it was cool to go to that part of the world and snorkel and see them out in the wild, how they're farmed, see facilities, meet people. Hello to everyone that, if you're watching, that I met out there, especially you, Alan, my new friend from Bali. That was where we started our trip off in Japan, which was pretty cool. We met up with a store owner there, Coral Aquatica. I'm kind of just giving you a synopsis of what to expect in the videos that are coming next week. So we started in Japan, had some amazing times there, made a new friend, and I will show you his store and what he's about over in Japan. And then we made our way to Indonesia, where we made a lot of content and a lot of videos and actually handpicked coral, and we shipped some of them back. This tank is a mess. I got a lot to do, but I'm trying to cut and make time for the video. So these new colonies here actually was a small order we shipped back. So one thing I learned is when you pick them, they can bleach very easily. This was probably the single nicest Cyaneria I ever saw, and it is bleached. It is bleached to shit. That is the adjective I'm going to use today. Sorry kiddos if you're watching, this thing is bleached to shit. And this is a torch coral that shouldn't be touching these. They were a lot nicer. This was one of the nicest chalice I think I'd ever laid eyes on. And again, it is bleached to shit, so sometimes they just don't ship too well. But I think they're going to come back. It's only been a couple days. This one, maybe not so much. These Yumas are incredible. This was sort of a small order from a new supplier. So overall, it looks pretty good, but some of the LPS I would have liked to see a little bit more color. This is pretty cool. Check out this funky frog spawn. So any of these pieces here that I'm showing you, I literally hand-picked with these very hands. I flew over there, I said, I want that one, and then shipped them back. So that was a lot of fun to do. These elegance corals, a little bit smaller, a little bit stressed out still. We didn't do an unboxing on this one because I wasn't here, but it was really cool to actually visit the facilities and get a little bit of a better understanding of the process of how they make it from the ocean to a facility, onto a plane, and then eventually to us here to a store, and then eventually to you into your home aquarium. This is kind of cool here. This is a branching Alveopora, and I've only seen this a handful of times. So usually algae, they grow in like a cluster or a ball, but this one is quite rare, and you see it branches. So that's a piece that we're going to frag up, and I do better with Alveoporas over Gonies for some reason. This logo was fantastic. These came from very far though. They didn't come they came from a very remote part of Bali, so they had to make a long journey to get here. What did I learn about corals? You know what? Keeping a mixed reef is really tricky. After seeing the way they're grown, it's really tricky to keep all the corals of the ocean in one tank. This is really soft coral or like softy dominated, but to do this, you're never gonna find hammers like that right next to acro. Or if you would just, if the tank was specialized towards one coral, it would be a lot easier. That's what I realized. Like these acros, when we were going to some of the farms out in the water to see them, they were here at literally maybe 3 to 5 feet, tons of light. Scolies and hammers and certain torch corals like 10, 20, 30 meters, you know, times that by 3 for feet. So really deep down, completely different conditions. And then we're trying to keep all of these corals from different oceans, not even the same ocean, not like they're all from Indonesia. Some are from Malaysia, and some are from Vietnam, and some are from Australia, and some are from the Caribbean. All different parameters, different lighting, different flow, different nutrients. We're trying to keep them in a fraction of what they would be normally found in. It's pretty tricky, and after seeing them, I'm actually quite surprised that we're able to keep anything at all. But if you were to like have a tank specific, let's say just to acans, I think coral keeping and reef keeping would be a lot easier. But then again, that's not going to be as fun. So it was kind of cool to see how much variation there was. I wish I brought a par meter, and we have some water actually we shipped back. So what we're going to do is ICP test some of the water from where we handpicked some of the acro, and then I'm going to share the results with you. If you don't know what an ICP test, it's a mass spectrometer, fancy way of saying we're going to send it to a lab, and then we're going to get back with the results to get a very detailed lab grade analysis of the water to see kind of how they're grown. These are some really nice SOAs. The softies shipped quite well. So these ones look more or less exactly how I picked them. And same with these funky discosomas over here. Really nice. What else did I learn? Maybe I don't want to tell you too much. Maybe we'll wait for the videos to come out. And I just want to focus in on this Yuma over here. So this is empty. We have, I want to say like 400 pieces coming, which is crazy for us. I've never ordered that many, but I wanted to make it worth it because we were over there. These are some acros that came in surprisingly well. This was kind of a test order from this guy just to see, because they're a little bit bigger than I normally would like. I find that the bigger ones don't usually ship the best. I want about half this size in order to have the best success rate for shipping. Oh, now this is a good point. While we're focusing on the acro, I used to always think Acropora, SPS, hard coral, hard to keep, slow growing. I take that all back. Except maybe hard to keep, not slow growing. These are fast growing corals in the ocean. So a piece like this could get to, you know, easily 6-7 times the size, 16 inches across in 3 months. And I was telling some of the guys there that, you know, a piece like that for us to multiply 10 times would take us years and years and years. And they were actually quite surprised to find that out. So they're not slow growing, they're just slow growing in captivity. Hard corals are actually quite a fast growing coral. And I think the reason for that is the amount of food. So where they're found in these parts in Indonesia, there's low tide and high tide throughout the day. So in the morning, it's low tide. Millions and millions of gallons of water move out from this bay, and then it all comes back and millions of gallons come in. So it's a massive water change in a sense, and also a tremendous amount of food. And there's no limiting factor when it comes to nutrients and all the funky trace minerals and elements that we're always trying to maintain and keep inside an aquarium. So all of that is in abundance in the ocean, and then that's why I think they're able to grow so much faster. It was a really cool experience. I cannot wait to show you the videos. Here's some cool blastos I shipped back as well. And this Yuma, which is really funky. It almost looks like it wants to bounce. This over here, some torch coral, funky ones. Another interesting thing I learned is in terms of naming. So in Indonesia, they kind of find our naming funny. All the funky names, every coral has a name. They don't go by names there. They go by Latin names. You know, these are Heliofungia, Indophilia, Acanthostrea, Cyanarina. They're not rainbow atomic bomb butt kissers. Like, those are all more or less North American invented names, trade names that we go by. And they keep up with some of them, like the torches, you know, they'll call them Holy Grail, Hellfire, New York Nix, Tiger Torch, Indo Gold, A grade, B grade. A little bit on the torch coral. They do follow some of the naming when it comes to naming of corals, like by North American standards. But for the rest of it, the vast majority of them, it's just Latin names. So just something to keep in mind. I always say when you're buying corals, just buy what you like. If the name's great, if you like the name and it's catchy, sure, but just buy the pieces that you like. And I'm reverting more and more to Latin names. This Lobo shipped really nice, and I'm really happy to see that. This supplier was new for me. It was my friend Patrick. You'll see in the videos, we went together, me and a buddy of mine who happens to be one of our wholesalers. He's dealt with them for many, many years, but I'd never tried ordering from them. So I kind of piggybacked on his order. These came really nice too, Aleofungia. Anyways, there's a lot to come, a lot of cool videos. It's going to be a little bit more vloggy than usual. I'm going to incorporate a little bit of our travel and what we did along the way and our stops and our food, and when I got sick and wanted to die because I was eating like I was trying to get food poisoning, and then I inevitably did towards the end of the trip. And I'm going to call it a season. I'm going to release the first season of Fragbox. So it's going to be Fragbox Season Asia. I think that's what I'm going to call it, and I hope you guys will enjoy it, and it's going to come out as soon as I have time to work through it. If I haven't got back to an email or there's something you're waiting for, please resend. Like, I'm just catching up. There's so much to do here in the shop, but the team did a great job. I have the best team I think that I've ever had. Currently, at the time of filming this, these guys did an awesome job while I was away, and I'm really happy to be back. I was a little bit homesick by the end. It was cool, but I was missing my home and my bed and my dog, and this guy doesn't give a shit about me. He just sleeps all day. His name is Diggs. And that's it, guys. I feel like I'm rambling on. We're going to wrap it up. And thank you very much for watching. If you got any questions related to saltwater aquariums, you can always hit us up, shoot us an email, and we will do our best to answer your questions. And that is all for today. What will I leave you with? You know, at the end of the videos, I don't know if you guys are watching to the end, I always like to leave you with a piece, and then I will say what I always say. And today I'm going to leave you with a long tentacle plate coral. Nope, I changed my mind. That's how ADD works. I'm going to leave you with a golden chalice and tell you to have a very nice day, or afternoon, or morning, because I don't know, wherever you're watching from around the world, never stop reefing. And goodbye for now.